Hello and welcome. Let's talk about something that has the power to change your life, emotional detachment. You may have heard this term before, but today, let's really explore what it means and how you can apply it to make a real difference in your daily experience. Detachment isn't about cutting off feelings or pretending things don't matter. It's about stepping back, observing, and allowing life to unfold without being weighed down by emotions that hold you back. You see, most of us are heavily tied to our emotions. We react to situations, to people, to events, as if they have the power to dictate our mood, our decisions, and even our future. But what if I told you that emotional detachment, in the right way, is the key to true freedom? The idea behind detachment isn't to push away your emotions or become cold and indifferent. It's to allow yourself the space to respond rather than react. Imagine for a moment that you could look at any situation from a place of inner peace, regardless of the chaos around you. What would it feel like if you could detach yourself from the fear, the anger, the stress, or the need to control everything? Detachment is the game changer because it allows you to regain control over your own emotional state and your reactions to life. Let's get deeper into how emotional detachment works. The first thing to understand is that it's not about suppressing your feelings. Emotions are natural. They are part of your experience, and denying them will only create inner conflict. Instead, detachment is about observing your emotions without letting them dominate you. It's like stepping out of the storm and simply watching it from a safe distance. You don't get caught up in the wind and rain. You stand firm, knowing that the storm will pass, and you don't have to be swept away by it. The key here is to practice awareness. When you start to feel an emotion rise, whether it's anger, frustration, or even joy, take a moment to step back. Acknowledge the emotion, but don't let it control you. It's about recognizing that you are not your emotions. You are the observer of them. This simple shift in perspective creates a massive change in how you relate to your feelings. One powerful way to practice emotional detachment is through mindfulness. This means being fully present in the moment and observing everything around you, including your emotions, without judgment. Instead of labeling your emotions as good or bad, just let them be. This allows you to break free from the pattern of emotional reactions that often lead to stress and frustration. Another essential aspect of detachment is understanding that attachment to outcomes is one of the biggest sources of suffering. When you attach yourself to a specific outcome, whether it's an ideal situation, a particular person, or a desired result, you limit your ability to flow with life. You create expectations, and when those expectations aren't met, you suffer. Emotional detachment frees you from this trap. You might be wondering, how do you practice detachment in your everyday life? Let me guide you through a simple process. The first step is to recognize where you're attached. Is it to a person, a relationship, a job, or a specific goal? Ask yourself honestly, what are you holding on to too tightly? What are you trying to control? The next step is to allow yourself to let go. I'm not saying give up on everything. It's not about abandoning your dreams or relationships. It's about giving yourself the freedom to let go of the need to control everything. This doesn't mean you stop caring. You can still be deeply involved and committed to your goals, relationships, and experiences. But the difference is in how you hold them. Instead of gripping them tightly out of fear of loss, hold them gently. Allow them to flow and evolve without trying to force them to fit your image of how they should be. By practicing this kind of detachment, you create space for new possibilities to emerge without the resistance that comes from attachment. Detachment also plays a significant role in your ability to manifest. When you detach from the outcome of your desires, you free up your energy. Often, the reason why manifestations don't come to fruition is because we are so attached to how and when they should happen. When we release that attachment, we allow the universe to bring us what we truly desire, often in ways we hadn't anticipated. Here's the secret: the more you let go of the need to control, the more control you actually gain over your life. Emotional detachment isn't about giving up or being passive, it's about stepping into a space of empowerment where you trust that everything will unfold as it should. One of the most common reasons people struggle with detachment is the fear of loss. We fear that by letting go, we might lose something important to us. But what if I told you that true detachment actually brings you closer to the things that matter most? When you stop clinging to the past or worrying about the future, you allow yourself to fully experience the present moment. And it's in this present moment that all things are created. Another aspect of emotional detachment is learning to detach from the opinions of others. It's natural to care about how others see us, but when we base our self-worth on their opinions, we lose our power. Detachment in this sense means recognizing that other people's views, whether positive or negative, don't define who you are. You are whole and complete just as you are. By releasing the need for validation from others, you allow your true self to shine without restriction. Detachment is a skill that requires practice. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's okay to take small steps. Start with the little things. When you feel yourself becoming overwhelmed, pause. Take a deep breath, and remind yourself that you don't have to react. Observe the situation and choose how you want to respond, rather than reacting impulsively. With time, this will become your natural way of being. It's important to note that emotional detachment doesn't mean you become indifferent or cold. It's not about shutting down your feelings. It's about creating space between you and your emotions so that they don't control you. You are still able to love, care, and feel, but from a place of inner peace and stability. When you're detached, your emotions are no longer a source of stress, they become signals that help guide you rather than push you around. The practice of emotional detachment is not just about removing yourself from negative emotions, but rather creating a space for balance and clarity. This is crucial because when we are overwhelmed by emotional attachment, it clouds our ability to think clearly and make decisions that are in our best interest. Emotional detachment allows you to make decisions based on logic, intuition, and alignment with your goals, not just reactions to temporary emotions. It gives you the space to step back and view situations from a broader perspective, without getting bogged down in the details that don't matter in the long run. When you practice detachment, you also become more resilient. Resilience doesn't mean never feeling hurt or disappointed. Instead, it means having the ability to bounce back from those moments with a clear understanding of how to proceed without letting those emotions dictate your actions. It's like having a solid foundation under your feet while the storm rages around you. You can feel the winds, but they won't knock you down because you are rooted in your own sense of self. The beauty of emotional detachment is that it helps you build emotional strength. Strength isn't about bottling up your feelings or pretending you don't care. As you practice detachment, you will start to notice that life becomes easier. Situations that once would have caused you stress or anxiety no longer have the same hold over you. You'll find that you're able to move through challenges with greater ease, because you're no longer emotionally attached to the outcome. Instead, you're able to flow with life and trust that everything is unfolding as it should. The more you detach, the more you align with your true self. And when you're aligned with your true self, you experience life in a whole new way. It's as if the weight you've been carrying for so long has been lifted, and you can finally breathe deeply and move freely. Detachment, in essence, is the freedom to be who you truly are without being weighed down by the opinions of others, by your past, or by the need to control the future. In conclusion, emotional detachment is not about avoiding emotions or becoming passive. It's about creating a healthy relationship with your emotions and learning to observe them without letting them dictate your actions. By practicing detachment, you free yourself from the chains of fear, attachment, and control. You open yourself up to new possibilities, and you create space for greater peace and fulfillment in your life. Detachment truly is the game changer.